Hey everyone, Lawrence DeMonico here, president of Rare Breed Triggers. I'm coming to you with some breaking news. I'm going to have to make this short, but I thought you all should know that we just secured a major victory in the courts against the ATF and their executive overreach. A federal district court in the Northern District of Texas has just issued a temporary restraining order against the ATF and their illegal attempt to classify forced reset triggers as illegal machine guns. This victory was made possible by the National Association for Gun Rights, who filed the case NAGR v. Garland just a few short weeks ago. Please do me a favor right now and slam the subscribe button and follow NAGR so they can keep you up to date on all the developments in this case. But more importantly, I need your help. Please take a moment to click the link in the description or pinned comment and chip in $35 to help fund this lawsuit. If you can donate more, please do, but I hope you'll at least donate the $35, which will also make you a member of the National Association for Gun Rights today, because we need your help. And I'm going to describe for you in a moment this victory, but is huge, but it is only temporary. In fact, a temporary restraining order will only last for 28 days, which is how long we've got to get it extended into a preliminary injunction. Now, you can rest assured that the DOJ and ATF are going to appeal this case to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, and we may have to litigate this all the way to the Supreme Court. So with that said, this case could cost millions by the time it's finally adjudicated. But mark my words, if we win on forced reset triggers, we also win on pistol braces, bump stocks, 80% lowers, so-called assault weapons, and just about everything else the ATF is trying to ban by executive fiat right now. Listen, it's no secret that Joe Biden and his ATF want to persecute and prosecute every person who have ever purchased an FRT. They want to ban them. Heck, they have banned them. And they want to put Rare Breed out of business, and they're still trying. As of today, Judge Reed O'Connor's temporary restraining order, or TRO, blocks the ATF and all its agents from enforcing its redefinition of FRTs as machine guns, which is great. But as it is a TRO, it only applies to the 3 individual plaintiffs named in the case. But with that said, based on the language in the judge's TRO, I think our chances are extremely good that we can get this extended to a full preliminary injunction that will protect all of NAGR's members. So let me explain that a little more clearly. If you make a donation to the lawsuit fund, and a portion of that donation will be used to cover your membership to NAGR. And why is that important? Well, NAGR is suing on behalf of its members. So if a preliminary injunction is granted by the court, which is highly likely, you should have protection from any civil or criminal actions by the government until a final decision is made in this case. So please join us in the fight by making a donation and becoming a member of NAGR right now. Simply put, the ATF's ban on FRTs does not hold up to the plain text of the Second Amendment, and it also does not fit the statutory definition of machine gun set by Congress. In fact, we argued that the Fifth Circuit's ruling in Cargill v. Garland that bump stocks aren't machine guns should apply here. Well, Judge O'Connor agreed, saying, and I quote, "The Fifth Circuit's recent analysis of the exact statutory language at issue here shows that the plaintiffs, and that's NAGR and all of its members, are very likely to succeed on the merits because FRTs do not enable the weapon to fire automatically multiple rounds with a single function of the trigger itself. The court finds that FRTs most likely are not machine guns under Cargill's reasoning." Boom, that's fire. After years of the DOJ and ATF trying to bully and intimidate me and run me out of business, finally, a court has stepped up to say what needed to be said. With a forced reset trigger, only 1 round is fired per single rearward function of the trigger. The only difference between an FRT and a stock mil-spec trigger is that an FRT is forcibly reset back to its ready-to-fire position with more pressure than a standard semi-automatic AR-15 trigger. Now, let me be completely clear about that again. A standard semi-automatic AR-15 trigger already uses a trigger return spring to force the reset. The FRT-15 just does it with tremendous additional force. Rare Breed Triggers began selling the FRT-15 forced reset trigger in December of 2020 after having the design analyzed by multiple legal teams and firearms experts. By January 13th of 21, the ATF had launched an all-out assault on us. The ATF tried to justify this by saying that multiple concerned citizens had reached out to them regarding my product. However, FOIA requests have proven that there was no record of one single citizen ever reaching out themselves. On July 26th of 21, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms issued a cease and desist letter telling Rare Breed to stop selling the forced reset trigger, and then met with us the next day to deliver it in person. We knew they were wrong, so in August, we filed against the ATF for the first time in federal court. On January 13th of 22, 1 year to the day of when they launched their assault, the ATF issued a law enforcement notice regarding our triggers, and then began showing up at distributors to seize product. And by March, they were raiding our manufacturer. In April of last year, they stopped me while driving a vehicle with product through New Mexico and seized almost 2,000 forced reset triggers. Despite seizure, they never charged me with a crime, which begs the question, why seize the product at all? And while all this was happening, the ATF was raiding, even arresting and charging law-abiding citizens for possession of forced reset triggers, which they were calling machine guns, despite the fact that the product that we were selling has always been functionally a semi-automatic trigger as the law is written. Now, I cannot even begin to tell you how thankful I am that the National Association for Gun Rights stepped up to file this lawsuit in the Northern District of Texas. Now, I say this all the time, but here I am saying it again. We will not cave to baseless government overreach, and I wanted to team up with a gun rights group that refuses to compromise on the Second Amendment to fight alongside us. In fact, the National Association for Gun Rights is the only group who would pick up the phone for me and the only a group who has assisted me throughout this fight. Now, I'd like to also give a shout out to the Texas Gun Rights who have joined the lawsuit as a plaintiff. Now, we're confident that we're going to win, but with that said, I know the road is going to be long because you and I both know the DOJ and ATF are not going to be easy about this. They're going to put up one heck of a fight. So here it is. Here's the call to action. We need your help. We have a link in the description of this video as well as a pinned comment below. I need you to get in the fight by contributing to the lawsuit fund. Why is this fight so important? Well, it's not just about rare breed triggers. It's not just about the innocent American citizens who are facing legal troubles and potential prison time over a semi-automatic trigger. It's bigger than that. If we allow the ATF to continue to whittle away at our rights by constant redefining of what is and what isn't legal, we'll soon be left with no rights at all. There should be no authority for a government agency to unilaterally rule by executive fiat. And the courts need to recognize that and put a stop to the government overreach before the precedent is set that nobody is stopping them. I'm here with the National Association for Gun Rights to make sure our rights are defended and the overreach stops here. Again, if you haven't already, click the link below to become a member of NAGR or make a donation that will be used exclusively for this fight. And if you've already done that, make sure to subscribe for more gun rights updates in the future. Thanks for listening, and most of all, thank you for your help. Every donation, even small ones, will help in the fight. Please be sure to share this video with anyone and everyone you know that owns or would like to own a forced reset trigger and might want to help. Thanks again.